Come, let me get you some.
Yo, what's happening? This is Saber Talk Sunday. Mundo in the house, and Barris in the house as well. How y'all doing? We're gonna have a good discussion tonight. Charlie, I hope you have a good workout, brother. He's gonna be listening while he works out, man. Got to keep that workout going. And
No, of course.
when you're martial arts, bro, you got to keep it up. I myself have to get back into it. It's been too long since I have done anything martial arts related, and I used to love doing it. So I really need to get back into it. um, so tonight's topic, I find that we need to revisit this topic a little bit because I found it kind of interesting that I've been watching, Jeremy from Solo Sabers, he's now doing the laser etching, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
And yeah, so he's been doing a freaking awesome job, right? Doing an amazing job with the laser etching. And Cole Weathers, who had been doing it for a while, he hasn't done any in a little bit because of his job. He's been so busy, as he said the last show, right? That he hasn't done some in a while, and Jeremy picked it up and started doing it. And it's such an amazing way to see things written, especially in Arabic. But hey, Mo, what's up, man?
Hello.
Hey, dude, have you seen Mo's video on I think it was Facebook that he put it on, or was it YouTube? I don't. It was either YouTube or Facebook. What was it, Mo? But he had built this saber that looked pretty interesting, and it looks pretty magnificent. Him and his wife are hold dear near dear to kids, right? They love kids, so they're gonna auction off this awesome saber once he gets it, wired up and everything, right? Oh, both. Okay. And so they're going to auction it off for St. Jude's, which is
Oh,
very
nice.
highly commendable, man. And Mo, God bless you, man. I really hope that you get every penny that y'all are looking for in that saber, dude. Um, the installer that you go with, I really hope they do a really good job, right?
Oh, it's going to
It's
be a
going
wrap.
to be, oh, it's going to a raffle. Oh, okay.
Well, still, the money
Um,
goes to the cause, so no harm for no foul.
well, yeah, but he said that the proceeds will go to St. Jude's. So,
Huh? He cut out. Well, anybody want to ask me saber questions? I could use the mind. I could use the mental challenge right now. I mean, it's 9 o'clock here on the East Coast, so who knows about it. Yeah. Let's see. Have I actually found out there's this guy I connected with on one of the lightsaber groups. His name is Chris Norton. He is opening up his own dropship slash saber company called. Dang it! Why am I blanking out on the name? I blank out on all these names. It's really annoying. Okay, no. Yeah. It is called. Um, yeah, it's called Chris Geek Shop with two S's, and it's underscore between Chris and Geek. It's on It's on Instagram. Right now, he doesn't have a shop open, but you are able to place orders, and he actually does have the prices really lowered. Like for example, I finally got my hilt I got my a Luke ROTJ hilt for $130.
okay. Let
That's
me
pretty
see.
good.
Am I back here?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, good.
Don't
For
mind.
some reason, I lost connection. It's weird. For some
Yeah,
reason, I lost connection, and so I went to my Wi-Fi. So hopefully everything should be okay now.
yeah. I was just
Do you,
advertising a new guy who's trying to open up his own saber shop.
Oh, cool.
He is selling LGT Nexus hilts, but
Hmm.
I was able to get. I finally am getting my hands on a Luke ROTJ hero hilt, and
Hmm.
it's at a really good price actually. In Profi too. You want to know how much?
How much?
$130, no blade.
Well, that's not bad.
That's
That is not bad.
that's under retail value, which is pretty impressive. Of course, he had to
Yeah, it is.
he had to have a talk with his suppliers, saying that they had to up the prices a little. But I mean, at least I'm getting a good trade off of it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you can get blades anywhere, or you can make your own blade, whichever you choose to. Which is what I did, right? I actually thought that my blade, my 28-inch blade, was kind of messed up, so I
Yeah.
took it apart. Come to find out, come to find out that it is Roy Boy that is having problems, and not the blade itself. But since I thought that that was the case, I built a brand new blade, right? So I bought all brand new LEDs, and I bought all new foam, and I bought, in this time, instead of using the shrink wrap, instead of using the shrink wrap, this time I used that diffuser, that nylon diffuser, right? That goes into the blade.
Very nice.
And and so I decided that let's go ahead and try that instead of the shrink wrap and see what happens. So I have, and I don't know if it's going to start up when I left it off. I left it off on the Master of the Gray by Jedi FX sound font. So let's see if I've got a full blade. I tested it, and let's see if it's going to continue to stay a full blade. So let's hear it real quick. There's the boot up. Let's see here. Haha.
So
Yeah.
and that's a 28-inch, right?
This is 28 inches. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, looks good.
So looks like it's got a full blade from tip to bottom.
From tip to stem,
Doesn't
yeah.
look like I see. Doesn't look like I see any corn cubbing in there.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Looks pretty clean. Let's check out the blasters. Yeah.
What board are you running on that saber?
Golden Harvest 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, not bad. Okay, so this is not Master of the Gray, actually. It went back to the default one, which is not bad, and it's okay. And let's see here. I wanna go back to
Sound menu.
Master of the Gray from Jedi FX.
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers. Be wary. Sense of disturbance.
Oh, I love the dart.
Good Friday.
Spun your last webs, but I need a nuclear reaction to
Be avenged.
Mountain Sabers, man, love his fonts too.
Round sabers, those two good fonts.
There we go, Master of the Gray. So let's see here. I love this font too, man.
Hey, that's a red blade, right?
Yeah, I've got it on red right now.
Yeah. Interesting enough, I really love how some people, when it comes to the camera color, people think it's orange, but it's actually red. It's really odd. It's odd actually how it comes out that way.
Right, exactly. Dude, Mo, thank you. Yeah, it's a red blade, but like I said, and like Barris said, sometimes colors can be a little off or on the camera, depending, right?
Yeah.
Um, so
But
whether you be far or close to the camera,
but
it
yeah,
just depends.
but as I was explaining to the audience while you were briefly away, the guy who I ordered from, his name is Chris Norton. He runs
Hmm.
Chris Geek Shop on Instagram.
Yeah.
Hey, and he doesn't have a website up yet, but he is taking orders. And if you guys are interested in getting an LGT Saber at a decent price, then you can definitely do it. And depending on where you send it from, he it comes to him, and he makes sure that all the electronics are done. He even offered to create a Profi Nexus core, by how the smaller Nexus cores, the ones that are the usual like plug-in type. So
Yeah.
hold on one second. Usually,
Now,
sorry, go ahead.
now, see the inside of it, or the core inside of it. Is it a plain 3D printed chassis core, or is it got
It's like the
some
ones,
of the flashy type?
it's like the ones you would get if it was core. This is the standard size for like the like drop-in core. That's for. It's called Chris Geek. It's called Chris Geek Store, Chris Geek Shop. It's CHRISS_geek_shop, and it's on
No, you see,
on Instagram.
it's on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you, is he also on Etsy or not?
He is not on Etsy.
He is not on Etsy. Okay.
Yeah, he's active on the lightsaber community boards. But basically, as you can see, this is like the standard drop core size for Profi, and what they also use for the RGB ones. With this, and the other ones are much shorter, and they aren't as tall when it comes to the emitter part up here. 2 S's on Chris Zielikleis. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced your name. So
it's Yalis, but it's Jim.
yeah, but he said he's going to try and do something where he can replace the Xenocore board. No, it's Chris Geek Shop. I'll type it in. Okay, Chris Geek Shop.
Now,
yeah,
okay, there you go. So that way everybody can see that one right there.
Yeah,
how it really is going.
He wants to try and replace the Profi core. That's with he wants to replace the Xeno core into the Profi core and one of the smaller ones, so that way blade length is much more. It has a bit more blade length, which I think is actually really nice, especially considering with Nexus doing all these new chassis and whatnot.
But
yeah,
now,
but
do you think on his chassis, are they like you said, the way they look, it's in between, I mean, it looks very well made, right?
Well, I mean,
very well made chassis.
Well, Nexus chassis, keep in mind, these are made in, I mean, I don't want to assume it's a sweatshop in the middle of China, but I mean, some of the wiring can be a little bit iffy depending on what you get. I mean, if you're ordering off AliExpress, it's B grade, but I mean, this is just a guy who's basically DIYing it. He's taking it apart and doing it.
Now, I mean, some of the chassis that I've come across, I mean, like I said, they can be either like super fancy, high end, like Michael Bear, right?
Oh yeah.
Which is the creme de la creme of the Graphics. Something that you probably would retire off of in getting that kind of chassis, right?
Yeah.
Then you have your other grades of chassis that go in, and I'm not talking just chassis too. I'm talking sabers as well, right? Now, if I may be appropriate enough to interject in terms of not only flashiness, but Martin Bear. Thank you, Jim. I thought that's what I said. I guess I cut it short, right?
Yeah, you did. Martin Bear.
So Um, I think, depending on the situation that you are going to go in, or, let's say you're going to go to a con, or you go over to a friend's house, or you go to, let's say, a saber party. You go to a saber meetup, right?
Yeah.
Or let's say you're going to Disney and you're going over there with your saber. Would an appropriate saber, now, mind you, if you've got your collection, did you take which hilt and which chassis do you take with you? Let's say if you're going to Disney, are you going to go take your high-end dollar lightsaber? Let's say you spent about 12 to $1,500 for that saber into the park, or would you take something like I have, which is, basically the Warlock, right? Which is MHS parts from the custom saber shop to take it in to
Well,
the park.
I would say when it comes to, I would say it all depends on what your comfortability level is when it comes to bringing it out. Like if you're going to, if you're confident enough to bring it to Disney, into a Disney park where it won't get severely, where you don't care about the outside as much and you're more worried about the internals, I think you're going to be fine. Especially like, for example, I've already been seeing pictures of people who went to Galaxy's Edge because at Galaxy's Edge, the new character there is Luke Skywalker. And by the way,
Hmm.
have for him, I'm not sure if it's Disneyland or Disney World, but whoever they got for Luke Skywalker really looks like a nice, really looks like a nice, like really looks good to impersonate a young Mark Hamill.
Right. I saw pictures of that today.
I
Uh,
haven't seen that.
Jim, I don't think I've seen that either. The watch Megalium's
I
OBN.
saw I saw someone who posted a custom chassis build for his Count Dooku saber, and it looks wow.
No, I think it might. Well, and I think also like I said, depending on the situation that you're going into, um, I would say if you're going in to a con, but let's say you do go and meet Mark Hamill, right? I
Oh
think you really do want to go, and you want him to sign it. I think it'd be appropriate to have a fairly well made
oh yeah,
high end lightsaber, right?
especially if your chassis has a crystal reveal and all the markups of it. Like I mean, he's gonna probably see that and just be like, "Oh my gosh, this is wow!" Like just be amazed. Also,
Now, would you?
no offense, I would not have Mark Hamill sign a $1,500 replica lightsaber. I personally would just get it as a plaque. I would just get it as a plaque and a picture. Although personally, with the prices that his agent is having him charge with, look, I don't blame him. He's a family man. He's got a family. I'm not going to diss him on the prices, but I will settle for a picture and a good firm handshake. Maybe a video.
Right?
Maybe a video of me talking with him.
I'd say that, right? Well, I know, my God, that just, eeh. But
I,
again, now would you, let's say you're going over to a friend's house, would you take your high-end saber over there, or would you take, like I said, like the one like the Warlock here?
like if you just want to like if you're gonna like do some sparring and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like I said, it all depends on what level you're comfortable with. I think
Hmm.
if you have a saber that even though it costs a lot, but it's able to take, but the blade is able, but you have a standard blade that you're able to take a beating with. I think that, I mean, it just all depends on what you feel comfortable with.
Right. And that's what it boils down to, really. But again, like I said, depending on the situation. Now, I enjoy watching all of these really great sabers, especially with the laser etching that has been done.
Yeah,
and I've seen some really really badass things, especially with Darth Alice sabers too.
Darth
If
Alice.
you
One
have
etching.
you checked out his work?
I know Darth Alice. Yeah, he does great work. One saber company that I know of is NS Sabers. They're a company that have done etching work. They're based out of the UK.
Hmm.
They some of the work they've done with their hilts are just really good. I would love to. Uh, Maldonado says, I would love to get a Star Wars actor's autograph, but the cost of buying a new saber always outweighs an autograph. That is true. But I mean, look, I have gotten signatures from Taylor Gray. I've got signature from Jeff Bennett, and those have only come around $100.
Well,
In addition to the picture. So in addition to picture,
yeah,
so it's not as bad, I would say, depending on the celebrity. Like for example, I'm
yeah.
hoping to meet Daniel Logan, Vivian Blair, and Diana Lee Inasato at Metrotham Con in June. So
Hmm.
obviously, and I don't think I'm going to be planning on buying any lightsabers around uh, May, late May or June, but
Right.
I'm not going to be getting autographs, but I'm going to be getting pictures. So that's probably going to be somewhere between like $250, $300. Honestly, I don't know. I'm hoping that Vivian's agent or mom or whoever manages her isn't so much of a isn't going to uh, shake me down. And I could make a joke with I could make a joke saying, "Man, I paid $100 to get a picture with a little girl. That's just sad, man." Oh, that could just be funny. But I mean, it all depends really on pricing and what you are able to do and how you have it with the bank. So yeah.
Well, see, yeah, that's another thing is pricing as well because I think now with the saber cores that we're seeing the chassis being so elaborate with the of course you've got gold, you've got the
Gold, brass,
brass
silver, and
and silver
not real silver. That would be
was it tritium? Tritium. I mean, you've got a buttload of special metals now that are coming out in terms for crystal chambers. You've got the laser etching on certain things. You've got all of these custom made stuff coming into these hilts nowadays, right? Hunting for a scrapper at the Dallas Con in May. Woo! Yeah, that'd be fun, Mo. I would love to go to the Dallas Con, but unfortunately, my funds won't allow me to.
you're local to Texas.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
scrap.
am. I am actually. Oh, Scraplex. Okay. Um,
Scrap flex.
the yeah, the Scrapflex is unbelievably cool.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to build the. I want to build one day. I actually want to build one day.
Well, I mean,
Um.
even if you, well, I mean, one of the best things about MHS and V and V and VHC parts is that you can just make one using some of the parts with it, and it's really simple. I would say
Mhm.
the cheapest you would go for is LGT parts if you wanted to go that cheap. But if you also do MHS, that works too.
Yeah, and I love actually ordering from the custom saber shop. I really do order quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I just bought a chassis 21700 chassis battery holder.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
see here for this saber right here,
Oh,
right?
nice.
Of course, this one, oh, and of course, like I said, I failed at the the emitter port here. Um, this thing. And it holds pretty well. It's pretty damn tight on there. I don't have to remount it, but I tell you what, I don't need to put a hole on it because this thing is like super tight right here. Not too terribly tight, but it'll work for what I need it to do. And so yeah, I bought the chassis, and I've got of course the speaker holder, right? I did not order the part for the kill switch because I didn't have enough money at the time when I ordered this. So I have to wait for about another week and a half because I ordered a Golden Harvest 4 board. So I ran out of money at that point. uh, Ordering the Golden Harvest, right? Um, and I really am super excited to wire up and test the Golden Harvest board.
Yeah.
So let's see, Telegraph, Graphics, Obi-Wan, TPM combo. Really, Jim? Telegraph. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that we saw that with the other night, or remember the other show that we did with what was the topic that we were talking about? Damn, I can't remember. Too much crap. That oh yeah, the '89 Saber show. That's right. And I'm trying to think. Oh man, and I've seen those. I've seen those. As a matter of fact, you know what? I think it wasn't it either last show or the show before with Jedi Arms Dealer, and he
Yeah,
was
that
talking.
was
He
it was
had
with him.
he
Yeah.
was had one. He had one, and that's why I was thinking like, damn, I know. Yeah,
Hmm.
and MHS mod, I would like to send you as soon as I get it made. Still being made at CNC shop. Sure, dude.
Yeah. Hey, Mondo,
Yeah, I can.
you ever have those moments when you are expecting a package on one day and yet it comes into the distribution center on that morning, but it doesn't get delivered to your house until like the next?
Yes.
Yeah, that happened to me this weekend. I was
Did you did
I
you order it from AliExpress?
no, actually, I um Lucky Sabers finally sent back some of my X-Tech hilts, which have finally been fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But it says it was going to arrive Saturday morning. It says at 8 a.m. it came to the distribution center, but they didn't deliver it. It wasn't on the delivery truck for that morning. So I'm going to get it tomorrow. No doubt about that.
Well, that's good.
Like, come on. It's going to come in like an hour before I have to go to work. And I'm just like, come on.
Well, see, I ordered some battery tabs, and I thought they were the 1865 battery tabs. Turns out they were the double A battery, or triple A battery tab, or
Always
double
do
A
your due
battery tabs.
diligence. It's one of those things.
Very, very, very small. Not the ones I wanted, right? That's like I said. I thought that's what they were, which is the 1860 ones, and they weren't. So anyhow, they get to the distribution center here in Corpus, and I did not receive them for 3 freaking days. They were here at the distribution center for 3 freaking days.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, I should have just walked right up to the distribution center, which is about 3 miles from my house, and
Oh,
gone and picked them up in the office. Because I was thinking to myself, really? Like, I could have just gone over there and got them. Because I was like, man. But then when I received them, I was so disappointed that that's not what I thought I had ordered. So I pretty much just chunked them in a box. And nevertheless,
okay. Well,
I emailed
look,
the person who I bought them from and said, "Hey, man, I can't use these. Do you want them back?" They're like, "No, but we'll give you your money back. Come on, thank
yeah.
you."
Look, and then I get what you're saying, but when it comes to USPS, not only are they staffed, but the federal workers there they get dealt a bad hand. They're not paid well enough. Not to mention, people are absolute dicks. Like you don't need to be mean to your local mailman. It's just not nice. If you be mean to your mailman, they're gonna be mean right back to you. Customs confiscated it. Well, where were you ordering it from?
Damn.
I mean, if you order, I mean, well, Mo, where were you ordering it from? Where did the original shipping come from?
I would say AliExpress, right? Or maybe
No,
even
he ordered it through Amazon.
oh, Amazon? Really?
I
And
mean,
you never and Amazon and
apparently,
customs
yeah,
confiscated it?
it came overseas. The only country
Damn.
that had it in stock. Which country though? Because if it was coming from China, okay, maybe I can understand. Just random stuff happens. I get that.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Speaking of overseas companies, Mundo, remember how I told you about that saber company based out of Argentina?
Yeah.
They are gearing up for some of their stuff. They are almost finished with their website. They're even creating a saber building simulator, which you can be able to mix match their hilts.
Oh, cool.
But I can't say anything because they made me promise not to say. But their hilts are going. Most of their hilts are okay. Yeah, China. That makes sense. Their
That
hilts
does.
are made for dueling. So if they're not exactly
Mm.
the ones that their props are done that look like the character sabers, they may not be
Mhm.
accurate, but they're made for dueling. So that'll be amazing.
Well, there has to be somewhat of a trade-off, and here's and it goes back to the topic, right? Because whether it be elaborate or simple, in terms of, like I said, either the chassis or the hilt itself, right? You can be as simplistic as you can or as elaborate as you want, but again, comes back to the situation that you're going to be in. If you're going to go into dueling, you really do want to have that simplicity of the hilt, simply because if you're going at it, and again, it could be like I said, unless you have the funds, you don't give a shit what kind of money that you're throwing around. If you're gonna go at it and you're gonna go smack the blades and everything like that, you got the money, go for it, right? But in most cases, and like we talked to uh all these last couple of guys that for the 501st, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
their hilts are elongated, but they're very simple, simply because of the fact that when you're fighting in that arena with the sabers, you don't want it too elaborate. You don't want things to catch on certain things and anything else like that. And also, if you're in a competition like that, yeah, I don't think the flashiness is going to matter much of anywhere of anything.
I mean, sure, flashiness is cool and all, but what matters is skill.
Yeah, exactly. So again, that's the situation that you're going into. The simplicity of it, of the hilt, is so much better, right? Now, let's say you're going out to a con and you really want to impress somebody with what you've got, and I think at that time it may be just appropriate enough to have a really good high-end saber, not too flashy, but flashy enough. Your core, and maybe have a crystal chamber in it, have some brass parts in there, the covers, right? That too, Jim. I agree with you. You get away with a lot, right? I agree.
Yeah.
And
Like, I mean, for
so,
example, my Loretto, my Slayer Foot Combs, Keller and Beck hilt from Loretto Sabers, I have a crystal chassis. It's it's nothing too expensive. It's just a simple outcloak with a crystal. In fact, let me go get it. I'll show you.
yeah, go for it, man. Love to see it. See, and that again, that's what I'm talking about. It may be nothing too fancy, but at the same time, it's got a little bit of damn bling bling to it, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, see. So let's open it up and see. And the hilt itself is really not very flashy. I mean, it's fairly simple designed, right? And there you go. So there that it's got a crystal chamber,
Yeah, there's no gold accents
and
or anything
it's
around it. I mean, I could have paid
right.
to add more to it, but I'm just not that type of person. I mean, I just want
No,
simplicity.
exactly.
And I mean, simply just with this hill, like, look. Yeah, I have my volume up high. Sue me. See that?
Yeah, that's great, dude.
Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
See, and sometimes simplicity, simple yet effective, is more than enough, right?
Exactly.
Like I said, it just depends. Now, if let's say you go to an art gallery, let's say you go to an art gallery and you have these like elaborate sabers you're going to show off as part of the art gallery. You set it on there, and your piece is part of the art gallery.
Yeah.
And that looks great, though. I mean, that really does look great.
And
So again, the elaborate um, functionality of it, it's not a simple hilt, right? Because you're looking at it from an art standpoint. Not only is it functional, but it's got all the bling bling, it's got all the blinkies, it's got the crystal chamber, it's got all the precious metals in there. Um, and so if you're going into that kind of situation and you look at it as an artist standpoint, which is where a lot of this is heading out right now too. Not, I don't see a whole lot of people wanting to duel with the sabers as much as now the switch has come to the art part of it, right?
well,
The art factor.
I mean, it's true. It is unfortunate that, when you, I mean, like, for example, with the sabers that I have, I want to duel with them. And they're not expensive. They're not like, oh, even my mass replicas, but the sabers that were made over 20 years ago, I still want to duel
Hmm.
with them because they can hold up to that.
And at the yeah, and yeah, right, Jim. I think so too. And that's again in the situation that you're wanting to go into, whether the hilt be elaborate or simple,
Yeah.
is the situation is effective up until the point that what you're going to do. And I highly agree with a lot like uh I think it was Rob Petkow, functional art, right? Or art that you can fight with is what he says.
That's
And
a good model to live by with. I agree.
right, art that you can fight with. And I enjoy seeing that type of scenario stuff. However, you got a lot of people making sabers for the sake of art itself. Now, most of them, a lot of them are going to be shelf queens to show off.
Oh, definitely.
They've got they're sitting on the shelf, half off, a little bit of a part where you can see the inside where the chassis is. You see the crystal chamber. You seeing it blinking
Yeah.
off and
What
on
my
and
arms dealer
everything.
showed us. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So I enjoy those. Hey Jesse, what's up, man? Oh
Jesse.
man, glad you're here, dude. It's an honor again every time you come, dude. It really is. And hey Jesse, let me ask you something, man. While we're talking about this, and he's got quite an extensive um collection of sabers, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I
Jesse, on on,
some of the ones he
on
used.
on your saber collection, you have stuff that just goes to cons. You have stuff that just stays on the shelves, and you have stuff that you can fight with, right? Hey Cole, what's up, dude? Oh, white picking guys are white nose.
Walter Groggins is
Oh
a good
man.
actor. You should never snub him, man. Don't snub Walter Groggins.
I love it, man. Dude, Cole's like, hey, and Cole, I was talking about you earlier about the laser etching and stuff, and AJ Ryan, welcome, dude. Um, and again, Cole's just amazing, laser etcher. And again, what I was saying is, yeah, I guess I have a little bit of everything, and most of my stuff is static and not installed. But okay, cool, Jess. Even though, but you do take some stuff to cons, right? You've got a couple of them that are not static, and a couple of them you take to cons because when you show off your fonts, man, um, it really gives that soul to the saber that
Well,
you make the font for.
he's got them hooked up into a full-on Spico stereo system when he's playing his fonts. So,
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, like I could see the plug on when he does that. Oh, yep. Okay, yeah. I'm guessing.
see, yeah.
Did you bring any of them to when you met up with Theory at MegaCon? Because I mean, obviously you were trying to sell TXQ sabers and not Saber Trio sabers, which both are great depending on your taste in sabers. Obviously.
I still have yet to get a saber trio. I really
I
do.
am hoping to get the one that looks like, yep, all his sabers, of course. I'm hoping to get the one that's. I'm hoping to get a saber trio, the saber trio saber that looks like Terran Malikos's lightsaber because honestly, look, the one that it's either the one from Saber Trio or the one that X-Tech makes. But either way, I'm not particularly picky as long as it looks good,
Mm-hmm. Now, Jesse, another thing, man. As far as the topic goes, are your favorite sabers basically are they pretty simplistic, or are they kind of like got the bling to them a little bit? I know I enjoy some of the stuff that Cole has done as far as like the laser etching on the hilts themselves, right?
Hmm.
And that's pretty elaborate stuff, and I really enjoy those hilts in the way they look and how they've come out. But in terms of having some of the stuff that is simplistic, you never use it. See,
Wait,
and
wait, hold on. You're willing to sell me your X-Tech Terran Malikos?
he'd buy it.
Well, hey, listen. PM me. I have. Oh, you have the Saber Trio one, and it's in the Terran Malikos one. Sorry, it's a little slow on the upkeep. Listen, if you're
Yeah,
interested in selling it, PM me on Facebook or Instagram, the Southern Skywalker. Wait, oh,
it's just
CFX.
FX.
Oh, wait. If remind me, is the one you have?
CFX is a good board.
I know. I've been so used to Profi that it's just hard for me to like. Hey, how about this? I am going to message you, and let's pick up this conversation when we are not live streaming, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, but again, the simplicity of things, depending on the hilt, right? Um, again, going back, I love the fact that you have some that belong on the shelf and are just pure eye candy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and and then I love the fact that again, like I would be taking something like this to cons,
Oh yeah,
for
that's because that sort of saber, you can drop it, and yet even if it's on carpet or on hard floor, which I know it's not, you don't want it to because it's hard floor, but you could
right.
it will still it won't matter because that's a brawler saber, like you
Yeah,
can,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, with all my hilts, even with, for example, even with my Keller and Beck, I don't mind it getting scuffed up because it's the saying, scars tell better stories, and especially considering how Keller, in the case of Keller and Beck's hilt, in Mandalorian season 3, he's literally battling for his life against clone troopers. So obviously there's going to be some carbon scoring from blaster fire
Yeah.
and scratch.
And and I, and now that we see some of that coming onto hilts as well,
Yeah, the
right? You
weathering.
have all these you have all these blaster hits on the hilts, and it's tearing the hilts open, and you're gonna see wires, you're gonna see this, you're gonna see that inside the hilt a little bit.
Yeah, those
Um,
sort of accessories, they're I think it's incredible. And I think before sabersmiths like that were doing this, I could only think of, you doing it as a DIY activity on a Saturday.
well, yeah, I mean it would be a DIY, but at the same time, it's 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 almost an elaborate build as well because you're telling a story of the hilt, right? You want to have that story that that hilt has been in battle, that it's been blasted and it's been opened, it's been used,
Mhm.
um, and there's nothing simplistic about that, really, honestly, because the simplistic hilt there's no battle damage, there's no real anything going on with it, right? Um, and yeah, right, Mo. Plenty of etching on the surface is really nice. Um, but each hilt that comes across, and Jeremy, I love Jeremy from Solo Sabers. His builds, man, actually almost tell a story when he's building the sabers. Um, all of the scrap tech that he's built and making, and Benji, of course, with the Corcus, and um and then of course others, right, that you see a story being told with some of these hilts that are coming out, and the reasoning behind some of the way the hilts are coming out. You want that story to emanate. And this is the reason, again, I go back to elaborate or simple, because if you are trying to tell a story with the way the saber is built, whether if you're going to um, give the background story on that hilt, minor, not only are the minor details, but the major details within the build are going to be very important in telling that story of the saber itself, and in the situation that you're going to go and show it off in, right? So
Exactly.
again, depending if you want to tell a story with the build or not, depends on how elaborate or how simple your build is. Now, again, I'll show you with my dad's memory hilt. It's nothing elaborate, right? It's nothing elaborate. It's a simplistic build because that's how my dad was, and that's why I call it the balance, because my dad, God bless him, but he was everything, and he didn't take anything for granted. He lived life to the fullest with everything, but at the same time, he would buy a few expensive things, but then when he needed to, when he bought cheap stuff a lot when he needed to keep certain monies to a point. um and there was nothing excessive about my dad, and that's why I call this hill the balance. Now, eventually, I think I'm going to try to find maybe some videos if I can find any videos of my dad laying around with his voice, and then try to put my dad's voice on here, and that'll be my dad's memory hill, which is called the balance, right? So very simplistic. My dad was not, somebody who had spent an excessive amount of money on a lot of things, but my dad would just kind of here and there hand me a $10 bill for no reason, like here, it's yours, and I love that man, and and just like most parents would do for their kids, they give them some spending money just for no reason, um, or whatever have you will. So at the same time, like and Roy Boy, and I tell the story of Roy Boy that build was a build that I made for my friend who died of cancer and brain cancer. So it was a way for me to bring awareness for cancer and stuff like that. Uh, oh man, thanks, Cole. Appreciate that, dude. And in doing the Roy Boy build, right, my best friend, to honor his memory, I have his voice on there. And every time I turn it on and I hear his voice, my best friend is always with me, and he's gonna live forever, right? Just like if I can find my dad's voice in a video that I have somewhere lying around, I can put my dad's voice on there. My dad will be with me to the day I die, right?
That is
And if my kids decide that they want to keep the sabers or even the SD card with their voices on it, well, I think I might send the SD card with my friend's voice on it to his son. So if something happens to me, that SD card will go to his son, so that he will have his dad's voice with him for the rest of his life. Uh, so uh, it's a noble way to do certain things, but again, it's not over the top, elaborate or anything like that. It's a very simple way to honor somebody. It's a very simple way of doing a build, and but it it has. Hey, Chet, how you doing, man? It has that type of story, that background for it, right? And again, I think everybody wants to tell a story with their hits that are coming out, with their builds. And it's exciting to see all of the different builds that are coming out,
yeah,
and all of the different crystal chambers that are coming around. Even Cal, with a lot of his builds, with the stuff that he does. Um, By the way, if anybody has seen his videos on the updated stuff that he's done with the building and everything, it's like, oh my God, it is so amazing to see that hallway that he has. You're gonna be on a spaceship, man. And again, he's telling the Star Wars story within his building, man. So yeah, man. And the parts. I say the parts, whether they be simple metal, whether they be steel, whether they be plastic, whether they be 3D printed, or so forth. Again, you can make it as elaborate or as simple as you want. And it really is amazing to see the differences in all of these builds, right? Um, the builds on how each one of them come out is just simply amazing in terms of how difficult some of these builds are, as opposed to how easy some of the builds are, right?
yeah, definitely.
So again, I commend all those who do the real difficult builds, and especially for the installers that really build the difficult ones, because man, I tell you, hopefully
Definitely.
one of these days I'll get to that point where I can do some difficult installations. and be able to go from there. Right now, I'm getting doing the easy stuff. Would you become eventually work on any of your own hills, Barris?
I mean, possibly. I mean, right now I'm just trying to build a saber collection. I'm not sure if I ever do something like that. Um, Especially if I am able to get into electronics. Thankfully, there's actually a. I live in the south side of Chattanooga, and there's a. I think there's a dump nearby where I can actually visit, and who knows, maybe I could find some stuff. I mean, maybe if I just ended up building a static prop, but who knows, honestly. But
Oh
thankfully,
yeah.
the cool things about Chattanooga is that where I live is that there's a lot of things that pass through here, and you never know what you're going to find, especially in antique shops and whatnot.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you, when I started, man, I didn't know anything, and I what I started with is I got my first soldering iron from Radio Shack.
Oh, that's a
Just
throwback.
yeah, right. Go figure. Right before they all went out of business, I went and got a Radio Shack iron soldering iron. You know, just a plug-in. It's just a plug-in. And I went and got some, some stuff off of Wish and solder and everything else, boards like this, and I just started putting solder on each of the holes right here and try to make sure that my beads were good, and small and everything for a good long time before I even decided to put any kind of wires on anything. And now that I have all this stuff left over, now I'm gonna use these and do my own custom clamp cards with these, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
again, and so for scrap aluminum, oh yeah. Mo, you can go also to from what I understand, you can go to hospitals and see if they throw out some of those rods that they hang the saline from and all of that stuff. They sometimes they throw them out and towards the dumpsters, man. And this one guy that I showed that I saw a video on where he got some scrap aluminum and stuff like that. He went and got some from there. He some of his connections and stuff for sabers that he got out from there. And it was like, what? It's amazing because some of those knobs that they have, you can easily make something out of those things. That they tighten up the bars to go up or down like that, and you can utilize those for builds. It's amazing. I forgot. I need to find that video and write down who it was, but it was on YouTube, and it was probably about, oh gosh, damn. I think I saw that video probably right in 2017 after my friend passed, and I was doing my research. So, yeah, man, it's not necessarily dumpster diving. They basically keep it out of the dumpster, but they put it right there. And I mean, I wouldn't go into the dumpster. You
Uh,
never know what's in that crap, needles and whatnot. So I wouldn't go in there. But I tell you what, I mean, you could, yeah, not the dumpster dive, dude. You just if they're outside of it, sitting on the outside, man. If they're in the inside, don't mess with it, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't go inside the dumpster.
yeah, dumpster diving. It
Mm-mm.
all depends on what you want to do, but eh, yeah,
But you can, I think that you can get some deals on some pretty good aluminum in different places and stuff. And it all depends on who you know and where to check things out, you know? Um, Again, you could probably find some great finds in antique shops too, because if like my wife and I, Well, she wants to go do some shopping outside in Fredericksburg, and over there they have a lot of antique shops. And I think there might be some antique shops out there. Maybe I might find, a gem or two in one of these somewhere, right? Nothing elaborate, but hell, if I find a Graflex, I might find a Graflex in there. You never know, man.
Better not get your hopes up, man, because things can happen. And
Never
also,
know. You never know.
yeah,
And Alamo Ironworks carries aluminum. Yeah, I know. I've seen that. I've seen that. Matter of fact, I had to go to San Antonio to go pick up my mom on Saturday. I didn't have to go too far though. I met my mom went gambling and she got stuck in San Antonio, so they met me halfway over there. On we we met at exit 72. At that I think it's the Lowe's truck stop or something like that. But yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, Mo. And so there's a lot of things that you can do to make either your build as simple or as elaborate as you want it. There's so many options out there that you have, and so many great people to go through. And I don't think I've seen an update right now. I think there has to be an update on which companies are good and what companies are bad, and all the things that have happened, all of the scamming that's been going on lately. You really do have to be careful with things nowadays. So, um, and again, that's why on the website now you got to put your name and the date and stuff, so we know that people are not trying to scam, those kind of people, right?
yeah.
Okay, funny is bad. Jesse. Ah. Man.
Yeah, no, dude. Look, dude, you make some of the best sound cards out there. You,
It
Casey,
does, man.
Juan Sith, you guys are at the top of your league, man. I mean, you guys are great. Nothing wrong with that.
They are.
Yeah.
And I love Jesse's fonts, man, because yeah, again, some of these font makers, they put skimmer phonics. Cole.
Okay.
Oh man, the sound fonts. I really do believe that the sound fonts really bring soul to your saber.
They do. Oh,
And
speaking of class and style, Juan Sith just released a new one this last week, and
I know.
Logan and he did a Deadpool 3 font.
I know. I was listening to it last night and this morning. I was like, I'm definitely getting that one, man. I'm
Yeah.
definitely
Oh my
getting it.
gosh. And
It's great.
and even though it doesn't come with a track, thankfully you got to thank Madonna for allowing Ryan Reynolds to use Like a Prayer, because I'm definitely doing that one because
Oh my god.
no. Yeah. Just have two Ventress hilts or two separated Maul hilts, and you're good to go, man.
Now I know, Jesse. Are you excited for Andor 2 coming out? The second season of Andor.
Season 2, yeah. Well, Andor, a Star Wars story. Cole, really? Come on. Juan is not that. Juan is awesome. By the way, the Five Nights at Freddy's font, that was me. I collaborated with him on that. I put a lot of effort into getting those sounds out there. And the funny thing is, we're still not done. Yeah, you're dang right I am, Savage. Oh yeah, Daredevil. I'm waiting for Born Again to be done with.
Daredevil, yes, I have to agree, Jesse. I've seen the first two episodes, dude. It is unbelievable. Are you gonna make some fonts with the Daredevil or not?
Ooh. Well, I mean,
Barris, you gotta understand Cole's the way he jokes, man.
oh, okay, I didn't understand. My bad. But I'm sure someone will come up with a Daredevil font. I mean, I'm sure probably Juan Sith will. Uh,
Maybe.
there's like another guy out there. His name is Fighter Saber Fonts. First name Ian. He's done a lot of great fonts, including he's up on Etsy now, and
Hmm.
and some of the fonts he does are just really like crisp and clean. He's got a CFX hilt, so and he has them all plugged in. I
And Jay DeLorean. Oh my God, Jay DeLorean's come out with some freaking awesome fonts
oh,
too.
Jay DeLorean is, I mean, Tremollion, he is amazing. I love his. My only caveat is that I wish that Profi had more memory to carry all those fonts because you could only install probably what, maybe 4 or 5 or 6, depending if I think I could probably install like 7 on a Profi V2 before it just conks out.
Hmm.
Yeah, and yeah,
Right, Cole? Yeah. I mean, he just like, ooh,
yeah.
man. AT. Now, going back to the topic, do you enjoy simplistic builds or elaborate builds? Let me know, dude, because that's the topic for tonight's discussion. Either elaborate builds or simple builds. And do you enjoy doing both, or do you enjoy doing one or the other in terms of how the saber comes out? Um, Again, I would say it depends on the situation, right? And some of the builds that you've come and shown is just phenomenal, right? And and I love every time you put out a video because that Kyle Katarn is like, oh, dude, I like that hilt, and eventually I'm gonna acquire one. I mean, there's several hilts that eventually I'm going to acquire.
Are you talking about his Jedi Outcast hilt?
Is that was that the Kyle Katarn? Because
Yeah, there's the one that first appeared in Jedi Outcast. Well, there's technically 3 if you include the one that he stole from Yoon, but that one, the closest thing I could find is probably a few custom builds online, and the one that's sold off of AliExpress.
see, he loves both, and that's awesome, man.
Well, the second one is technically belonged to an EU Jedi called Kuan Ra. Um, Thankfully, there was one made by Korbanth, one made by LDM. There is one that takes the Nexus chassis, the barrel plug charger type, and
Hmm.
that one, and there are several stores that take them. Rebel Sabers sells it. Aegis Sabers sells it. Um, but and the empty one on Aegis Sabers is actually a decent price, $110 for an empty hilt.
Now, here's food for thought as well, right? Because in going back to simplicity, a lot of people have been omitting the recharge port and just putting in the kill switch, right?
Recharge ports, I think it depends on what you're comfortable with. Personally, I don't mind having to take out the battery. It's also nice to have a charging port because you never know what can happen. Also, having a kill switch or a kill key can also be very helpful, um, especially when you instead of having to just take out the chassis. Because, for example, with my Loretto hilt, there's a kill switch on the chassis, which I simply have to just
Right.
slide out. Yeah, just simply, yep, and that, Yeah, but thankfully, before I go walking around a con or something, I would do all those steps before going out. So yeah. By the
Right.
way, Jesse, this is one of yours. This is the sabered hand.
Spud.
Come on, really?
Both paths. Scott. See, I think you've got to have. I think you've got to have several kinds. I think you have to have your simple builds and all the way up to your elaborate builds because again, depending on what situation you're going into, which hilt that you can choose, right? I think you should have, you know, I think you should have certain amount of different hilts in different forms of being, simplistic all the way to the elaborate. Uh, and just to have, for good measure, a good repertoire of, for your collection. Case it, yeah. If he's reading the chat, yeah, it's amazing, dude. Cole. Hopefully he's reading it, man. Hopefully he's reading it, right? Swap. See, and again, in having that kind of build where you don't have a recharge, but you do have a kill switch, it saves your battery quite a bit because then you don't have to take out your battery as often as well. However, it can be a pain, right? Oh man, thanks, Charlie. Um, I think it can be a pain in the ass sometimes having to take off the back of the hilt, pull your battery out, put another one, and it's like whereas you could just plug it in and charge it that way, right?
I would say when it comes to if you do need
But
do need to have a spare battery, especially if you have plenty of them as spares, it's definitely good to have one.
well, that's what I was gonna say too, because if you're at a con, you want to be able to switch batteries. I don't think you want to sit around in a damn corner waiting for your saber to charge up,
No,
right?
you do not. That's why when before a con, that's why a day and a half before a con comes, I have all the sabers I want charging.
Mm-hmm. I probably how many sabers would you take typically to a con?
I would say when it comes to that, I would say don't be what guy. What guy, huh, Mo? What guy would I be, huh? Well, I would say,
Five.
well, I would say when it comes to that, it's a good thing. First off, it's a good thing I brought my lightsaber bag by Saber. The guy charging in the corner. Oh yeah, sure. My hood up, being like.
I've seen that at cons though, man. I've seen it. And I feel sorry for that poor bastard because like damn,
And
why
just
would you
like
yeah, I'm like and this poor guy, he can't go anywhere in the con because he's in a corner charging his saber. And it's like, oh my god, dude. Like, really? I mean, you didn't think to charge your saber or have at least two sabers where you could have one, and if the other one dies, go get your other one, and you have a battery for it ready to go. I would be the kind of person who would have either three or four batteries with me. Ghost Force Sabers has really cool battery holders that
oh,
attach with cover text.
oh yeah,
Really,
yeah.
Scott?
Force,
I need to check that out.
he's got some cool stuff. Yeah.
I've seen some of his stuff, but I didn't see those. I need to check that out, man. For sure, dude. I gotta check that out. And but like I said, if you're gonna go to a con, have three or four batteries with you, and if not, then take
Have a backup saber.
two, pack up a couple of sabers that have batteries with them. so that hey, if one dies and you can't charge it up, go to the car, get the other one, and there you go, right? You got a couple of hours, you're good to go. I mean, you know, the cons, you know, there's a lot to see in the cons and a lot of people to talk to, a lot of things to do, and especially if you're going to be turning off and on your saber, getting pictures with people and so forth. I mean, really. Uh, so yeah, never be that dude that gets stuck in the corner and then you can't see shit within the con. You miss half the con that way. Like, no, you spent the money. Stay prepared, right? Be prepared, man. So, but I really do want, as I said, with Roy Boy, like I said, I'm having some trouble with Roy Boy, but I'm going to fix that because the blade that I showed you earlier, um, I checked it on Roy Boy and it only went a quarter of the way. So I need to see one of the wires that probably are taking too much amperage and not allowing the blade to go all the way up. So I will be working on that soon and hopefully I can get that taken care of. But I did buy a Golden Harvest 4 board and I'm super excited to get that wired up. Hopefully, in the next couple of you know, probably by next year or something, if I can, if I have enough time.
Yeah.
I'm a pack rat, but easily added cosplay. I like how you think, Scott. You know, and Jim was telling me about these batteries that he saw on Ace Beam. I guess it's they're 500 milliamp or 5,000 milliamps hours and 15 amps or something like that. I was checking out the website, right? They're for the flashlights and but they man, they got protected cells and they're 21,700 batteries. And oh my God, they've got 18,650 batteries too, but you charge them, you know, within the I guess USB-C, right? Here it is. See, Jim says Ace Beam 21,700, 500 milliamp, 30 amp. There it is. So I saw that, and the price is really reasonable, right? For those, and it's like what? Not a bad price for those kind of batteries. The power, unlimited power.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, like, dude. So if you want to, I mean, 1950, right? $20. Yo, most of these damn batteries they're showing $30 just for one. You get $20, that's $10 off, and you still buy two, it's still $40. So you're getting two for the price of one regular one, right? So it's like, oh my God, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm really looking to it, Jim. I'm really looking. I like how they look, though.
Hmm.
I really like how they look. It's just kind of concerned with the way
1.21
the plug.
kilowatts.
As a matter of fact, I have that font on here.
Ah,
Let's let's see if I can find it.
Sound menu.
Let's see if I can find it.
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers. Be wary. Sensitive.
Scrap time.
Ghost Rider.
You spun your last. But I need a nuclear reactor.
There it is.
Generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. 21 gigawatts.
And of course, this is made by Mountain Savers. Let's turn it on. Gotta love it. Oh, let's see here. Hold on. And we got the.
Yeah, the class.
All right. There we go. So I just rebuilt this blade too. This was a 28-inch blade that I had. I thought I was having problems with the blade. I actually was really, and I took the blade apart. I ordered BTF lighting. Hold on, let me grab it real quick. So um, I ordered the BTF LEDs, right? I really like these, man. These are so much better than the Alto ones that I bought a while back when I first started. And they're pretty nice, of course. They don't come into that protective layer or anything like that, right? Now the backing on here, you got to be real careful because that sticky stuff can really stick to the back of it when you're pulling that off. When you're pulling off the whole sticky part of it from one side. And man, I spent a couple of days using alcohol to get all that sticky stuff off the one side so that when I made this blade, I wouldn't have any trouble with sticking them together. And dude, that is a pain in the ass. So again, like Rob says, if you rush it, you wreck it. Take your time with stuff like that and pulling that stuff. Because if you leave all that stuff behind, that sticky residue, it takes a while to use the alcohol to get all of that sticky stuff off. And then you got to make sure that none of that sticky stuff gets on any of the components of the LEDs and stuff, because then it might cause problems for you. So again, be careful with that. if you uh if you so choose to do your own blades. But other than that, the blades are pretty simple to make. Again, ordering the parts from the custom saber shop and rewatching Rob Petkow's video, uh, re re reacquainting myself on how to make blades really did some wonders and allowed me to make this brand new blade. And now with the LEDs that I had from the old blade, which is right here, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to utilize these because I don't think these are again, I don't think these are so messed up that they're too far gone. I can reutilize these and make a lamp saver.
Nice.
so, so space, if you're listening, I'm gonna try to make a lamp saver out of these and see how that goes because I do have, and I'm gonna get some more stock, some more foam and stuff later on. But I bought. I bought. There goes my my box. I bought a 7/8 inch blade stock, and I bought the 1 inch blade stock. And I will cut these down myself, and I will make these blades. So I will have a couple of extra blades coming around, and that's gonna be a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun to work on these. And let's see here. I gotta put them in my holder here. The box for the blades I always use to hold the blades until I actually need them, cut them, and everything else. And later on, 4,000 milliamps it says now. Oh my God, really, Jim? Hey, good night, Cole. Thanks for showing up, man. You and Jesse, dude, very much appreciated, very much honored, guys. Really am, dude. I really appreciate it. And and I know Jeremy likes to listen to it, man. He enjoys listening to the show, and I've always enjoyed listening to you guys on Friday nights when I get a chance. Um, again, it's very I'm very honored for you guys, to listen and to be here. So again, very much appreciated. Whoo, an hour and 30 minutes went by fast. My goodness. My goodness. I honestly, guys, I really didn't think that the time would fly that fast with
Yeah.
this topic. Honestly, thought this topic was gonna kind of be a little slow, and it turned out great. It turned out good, man. Um, I am so honored. And again, I can't thank everybody enough for showing up in the chat and really hanging out with us on a Sunday night. Um, Jeremy is so busy. I invited him to come on with us, and of course, I know he's super, super, super busy. So,
Well, I hope we
uh,
get to. It would be great to talk shop with him. Seriously.
yeah, eventually, hopefully, one day he'll come on, and if he can't, it's understandable with as much stuff as he does and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got somebody blasting the radio outside.
Uh,
Yeah, so sorry about that, guys. And again, if I hope you guys like and subscribe. I mean, if you wish to. I know Anthony Space Window would certainly appreciate it. Like he says, force push that like button and subscribe.
and, and to all you out there who are on Instagram, be sure to look me up. I am at the Southern Skywalker, and I have got a lot of cool hilts coming. I've got a Luke ROTJ Nexus coming, and I also am a part of the Saber Legion. And our next practice is the weekend of the 19th of April, so keep an eye on that. And of course, in addition to Andor, we have episode 3 coming back to theaters. So if you want to relive your child, to those of you who were 10 years old in 2005 or whatever not, definitely buy your tickets if it's coming to a theater near you.
It'd be nice, right?
Which reminds me, tomorrow I got to call my local theater and see if it's going to be coming to that theater. Got to make
I
plans.
need to see if mines are. That way I can make plans to go and watch it if I get out early enough. And if the wife will allow me to.
It's Star Wars
She's been
Episode 3
so
Revenge of the Sith. It has one of the best opening scenes in the history of the saga.
right. You guys can also find me in Instagram under Edmundo Cabrera the Third, if you so wish, to hit me up, dude. I'm also on Facebook, same name. Hit me up. If you want to check out the videos that you see here on Civilized Sabers, also the videos that you see here, go to the Mundo channel on Instagram as well. I think there's a couple of videos on there that you may not be able to see here, simply because we got hit with different things. But nonetheless, you can always check those videos out if you want to give some love over there to the Mundo channel. And Scott, uh, um, damn man, it made me lose my train of thought. But again, yeah, find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, hit me up if you want to, man. I always welcome everybody. And thanks again, guys. Much love. Charlie, I hope you had a great workout. And I'll see y'all next Sunday. Not sure exactly what the topic will be, but I'll come up with one and we're gonna have some fun then too.
Yeah,
By
definitely.
that time, you know. If anybody's got some topics that they want to talk about, let me know, man, because that way, if you have a topic you want to talk about, I'd be happy to put you on the show if you want to come and talk about that topic, or if you want me to talk about that topic and you'll be in the chat, it's all good too. No worries. And everybody, love you guys, man. I'm gonna see if I can get my outro and peace and love, guys. Mundo out. Peace.